All right. Good evening. It is Thursday evening, and I want to point out before we start, because I'm very proud, the new Simple Endurance Coaching shirts. Check out the back. I know my family will be getting T-shirts, so do not despair, family. But there are also, so we do have T-shirts now. I have no idea how much we're going to sell them for, basically just to cover my cost. It's the same design, the bone bike and the Simple Endurance Coaching with the orange, and that'll be it. So tonight we're going to continue some of the work we were doing on Tuesday with core work and building kind of a functional core movement pattern so that we aren't just holding a plank or something like that for long periods, but we're doing some stuff and moving at the same time. So let's start in our seated position. I have a spring for a quick release underneath my mat. So nose breathing. Try to drag the breath into your belly. My dog is now whining. I'm going to go get my dog. Continue, please, breathing. And breathe into your belly. And just work on dragging the breath down from your nose and being aware of how deep you can get it. If you need to push against your hand that's on your belly, if you do that, that's good. Go sit down. Right from here, aren't you? Yeah, come here. A minute. And this, all we're doing is just practicing the inhale and the exhale so that breathing through our nose becomes more of a habit. So let's roll forward and we'll come into a cow and a cat. And the idea of these is to start warming up our spine. And we're going to be doing a bunch of work in similar pose in downward dog and then planks today. So let's inhale and drop your belly, stick out your butt, lift up your head. And exhale, round your back, tuck in your hips, drop your head, get licked by your dog. Inhale and bring yourself up. We're going to see if Joy can do her downward dog. And then back down and go at your own pace. Or Joy's pace, as the case may be. And let's bring out your hands. And we're going to come into, yes, the downward dog. And in our downward dog, our focus is going to be inhaling and dropping our chest so that we have a relatively straight line from our hips to our hands. And that's always the challenge. So inhale, come up on your tiptoes. Exhale, down. Tiptoes, and bring your chest down. All right, so what we're going to do here is, they're called plank waves, which essentially is we are just going to be going from a plank to a downward dog to a plank to a downward dog. And we're going to do that very slowly and hold the poses for a little bit. So let's roll forward and come into a plank. If you need to, you can come down to an elbow plank if you have wrists that are challenging, and push back to a dolphin pose. Okay, whichever works for you. Now we're back in a downward dog or dolphin. Roll forward to a plank. And in the plank, the goal is to have your hips just a little up. You don't want to keep them down, but you also want to think about your belly button getting pulled into your spine. Push back to a downward dog on the exhale. And then inhale, roll forward to the exhale, to the plank. And then drop your knees. You're going to come into a child's pose just for a moment, just to rest. And we're going to come back and do a little bit more core work. I may need to get up again. I'm just deciding what Her Majesty Queen Joy is going to be doing. All right, come back up into our plank. Now, this time, things are going to get interesting. So we're going to come back into our plank. And what you're going to do is lift up your right leg into a three-legged plank. If you need to, you can cross over and put it onto your ankle, or just ignore everything that I just said and stay in the plank. And then push back. All right, now this time, you're going to lift up your foot, but then just roll over into a side plank. Now, if you can get your hand up in the air, you get extra bonus points. Bringing in your belly, and now roll back down to a downward dog. Okay, I hope you're getting tired now, because I am. All right, now we're going to roll back to our plank, lift up our left leg, 3-point plank. Again, put your leg over the top if you need to. Back down, push to downward dog. And now roll forward, lift up your leg, and roll to the side, and avoid getting a face lick from your dog, even though dog is adorable. All right, let's go roll back, drop your knees, and come into a child's pose. Yeah, I know, you're a good girl. You have to do yoga now. Can you do yoga with us? Yes. Can you do yoga? Oh, doggy. All right, we're just doing child's pose to rest. Rest a moment while I get attacked by my little dog. All right, we're going to extend our arms. We're going to come into downward dog. Well, then do the yoga, Joy. Come on. You're in downward dog. All right, lift up your right leg. Oh my gosh, dog, you're just adorable. And walk forward. And we're going to come into a crescent lunge. I'm going to put you back in the house, little dog. All right, so crescent lunge. Both feet are facing forward. So we're not dropping like we do with warriors. No. And then the weight is on our back foot. We're trying to push down. And then, okay, you got to go back in the house. Excuse me. There you go. All right, what foot did I have? Right, I think I'm my right foot forward. All right, so the goal is to create a bit of a back bend, but we're also using our core to stabilize our upper body. So as you inhale, You might come up and then exhale. Whoa, lean back a little bit. This is a lot harder balance-wise because your feet are facing forward. And again, work on pushing your back heel down. All right, and we're gonna inhale, bring your hands to heart center. And now here comes some fun core work. We're gonna do a crescent lunge twist. So the goal is to take your left elbow onto your right knee. Not sure that's gonna happen. But anyways, nope, it's not. But it's all my leg and my glute on my right side and my core holding me up, holding nelly. All right, here we go. Gonna come back up. Now, we're gonna drop our back foot into a warrior two. And now, we're getting our weight a little bit more distributed. So, that's why I keep moving. So we want to keep, you don't want to have your torso reach forward so all the weight's on our front leg. Just bring your torso back so that there's weight on your back leg. You don't want to have it locked out. Have it straight but soft. Our shoulders are open as much as you can because your hands are pointing out in different directions. You can look behind you to see that your arm is at the right height. It's not like dragging because a sword down here is not going to help you. Remember, warrior two is all about having a couple of swords or maybe a shield and a sword. Inhale and then exhale. I keep talking and then forget to remind you to breathe. Good, all right. And we're gonna inhale, come to a reverse warrior. Left hand drops to your thigh or behind your back and reach up to the right. And so now our torso is parallel. So our body is all in one big line and we're reaching back on the exhale. So the inhale is to come down a little bit. The exhale is to open up our side. Okay, I'll do it one more time. All right, now we're going to roll forward into a triangle pose, and then we're going to have some fun with that. All right, so now our triangle, right elbow inside our right knee, and the knees bent up over our front ankle. I'm opening my arms straight up and down as if I was unhugging a giant tree. And the inhale is dropping this arm, and the exhale is trying to rotate this shoulder, my left shoulder, open more so that my torso becomes parallel to the floor or in that direction, and my left shoulder is on top of my right. Oh, we're gonna love the next part of this because my leg is just burning right now. I can't imagine. Good. All right, now we're gonna take our hands. I'm sorry. And we're gonna outstretch them in our extended arm triangle. And so now, again, we're trying to bring our torso so that it's parallel. So my left shoulder is trying to get on top of my right. Okay, this is really hard. Okay, we're going to take one more breath because you got this. Good, now we're gonna cartwheel our hands back down to the mat. Bring your right foot back and into a downward dog. And this becomes our rest pose. Wow. That's a lot. And the script that I was using from a power yoga class that I had taken also included doing an airplane, which is just one leg and it's just a balance pose. It's like, no, that's a little much. All right. Left foot up into the air. Bring it forward into our crescent lunge now. Same procedure. Work on getting the back heel down as far to the ground as possible. I've seen some people be able to put their foot all the way down. I don't know how that's possible, but that's the idea, is that you're inhaling and pushing back. Or down, really. We've got a good 3 or 4 more breaths on this side. Let's do one more breath. Good. Now bring your arms on the exhale to heart center, and I'm going to come forward again here. This is going to be the crescent lunge twist. So what we're going to do now is take your right elbow and try to put it on the outside of your left knee. And like, last time I couldn't, then that's okay. Exhale as you rotate. And the whole point is to keep some weight back on that back foot. But now you're rotating your torso. Almost at it on this side. So the inhale is to come back, the exhale is to rotate. So this is the opposite direction of what we'll be doing in triangle. Good. One more time. Breathe into your belly. Rotate as the exhale. Good. Right now, come back up. Drop your back heel to come into the warrior 2. And again, now we're going to come into the warrior 2 with your left foot forward. All right. So I'm going to rotate around. All right. So here's some things again. Your cues. Left knee over your left ankle. Weight evenly between front and back leg. Hands coming away from each other as if they were being pulled away from each other. Shoulders open and rolled back. Belly button into your spine. That's just so much to think about. Just try to hold this as strongly as you can. Okay, good. Drop your back hand, lift your left hand up into the air. You can bring again this arm around to the small of your back, but you're trying to keep your torso in that same plane where the warrior 2 was, the warrior 2. And inhale, and exhale, and reach. And reach. And when you're doing this, I know as weird as it sounds, but you're trying to actually relax your lower body. And when my glutes are telling me there's no relaxing happening here, but you're trying to kind of consciously relax them. All right, now we're going to come down into our triangle. That was very slow. All right, now my left elbow is inside of my left knee. My left glute is seriously mad at me right now. It's just firing. We are going to come down onto the mat in a moment. Yep. Good. So again, the exhale is lifting up my right hand and my right shoulder, trying to just bring it back so that my torso is in that same plane, as if I was getting smooshed by a couple of planes of glass. I want to be as narrow as possible. All right, here we go. Now, gonna bring our arms over. My left glute is hating me right now. I'm very sorry. We're just gonna reach forward. We just got 4 breaths. I'm gonna try and get some weight on my back foot. We're just trying to keep my right shoulder now on top of my left. 2 more breaths. We got this. And 1 more. Good. Cartwheel your hands back down to the mat. Come back into a downward dog. Take a breath. Oh my goodness. That was a lot of work between the hips and core and shoulders. Let's bring our knees down to the mat. Come in to a seated position. And in your seated position, in our seated position, inhale and lift up your torso so that you're straight, and then just walk your fingers out just a little bit. Inhale back, exhale, try to reach as flat a back as you can. One more breath. Good. We're trying to just open up. My left foot is in front of my right. So I'm trying to open up my left glute a little bit. And that's the goal here. So switch feet. So now my right ankle is in front of my left. We're going to do the same thing. Come on down. Inhale up. Exhale down. And we are going to do one more figure 4 on our back, which is like a pigeon pose, but much easier. And we're going to do that pose simply to continue to open up the hip that we have been working on so much today. All right, good. So let's roll onto our backs, their knees in the air, like you just don't care. Well, it's hands in the air. So bring up your right knee, turn it around so that your right ankle is on top of your left knee. All right, so what's going to happen here is you're going to take your hands and shoot them through your legs if you can, and wrap your hands around your knee. Okay, if you can't do that, then get one hand on the right knee and the other hand on your right ankle, and you'll do the same thing. So the goal is going to be pulling your knee closer so that your right glute and hip opens up. That's what you're trying to, that's the target area for the move, is that your right hip, your right glute is moving. And sometimes you have to, like I've already wrapped my right arm around my right knee because it's the only way it's going to get at that spot. So you're free to move about your knee around a little bit to make it work so that you're getting at your target. And then inhale and exhale. Inhale, and again, the goal is just to pull your right knee into your right armpit. That's the direction your leg should go. Good. Let's unpretzel ourselves. Bring the left ankle onto the right knee. Same thing. And you're going to feel different sensations on this side. And now I'm able to grab my knee, and it's doing the work I needed to. So we're not trying to twist, in this case, the left knee. That's not the case. We are simply trying to open up the left glute and hip muscle. So now again, I'm doing my left arm wrapped around my left knee so that I get a little bit more torque as I pull in. And the pull in is on the exhale. Good. One more breath. And good. All right. Unwrap yourself. Come back into a seated position. That was a lot of work tonight. Thanks. Bring your arms up overhead and down to heart center on the exhale. Do that 2 more times. Inhale up and down to heart center. The idea of doing this one more time is that we are collecting good energy that we've been creating and then bringing it inside to ourselves so that we can spread it around to others. Namaste. Hey, thanks for joining. It was a lot of work tonight. I hope that you're okay. And every Tuesday morning at 6 a.m., Thursday evenings at 6 p.m., we have yoga for everyday athletes and normal people too. And then on Mondays at 7:30, we have recovery yoga for people who have been training all weekend and are tired and want to move around a little bit. So 10 to 15 minute class. So come and join us. Check out www.simpleenduracecoaching.com if you're interested about the t-shirts and the hoodies. Well, just the t-shirts rather. That's what we'll have for sale. Let me know. All right. Take care.